is going to stay on and do that for us. K-Mac is kind of the guy when it comes to these old school Castlevanias.
Yeah, the sci-fi category.
This is, I was going to say my favorite, but Grant is pretty cool too. But
For me,
yeah.
I know nothing about CV3, so I'm going to bow out. I only run CV1.
That's okay. Thank you very much, Dark Terrence, for commentating. Actually, for this one, we're actually going to bring K-Mac into the call.
I can stay on too if you'd like.
Sure, yes please.
I know it somewhat. I've watched enough of his runs.
Often that's good enough, really. But yeah, he wants in. He's going to tell us about Castlevania 3. I guess he really wanted to focus for Castlevania 1. I guess because he was racing. You don't want to screw up just because you were trying to be funny or something and some guy beats you. But yeah, he's a little more comfortable with a solo run, so he's going to join us on Skype. We can barely hear you. You're super quiet. It sounds like you're like in another room.
I'm gonna guess the wrong audio device selected.
I like that guess.
Oh, I know why. The mic was up above my ear. That would explain a lot of things.
Darkwing's chance.
I totally do that. All right. Well, you're already in chat. You're already on stream. Do you want a moment to readjust, or, well, first of all, do you want to talk about the race there, because that was a great run?
Yeah, I had a very good run there. I missed a few things early on, as far as just dumb little execution mistakes, missing a candle a few times, but nailed the end. 4-cycle drag. That was actually, I believe, the best race time. It would have been SRLP for sure. It was 11:56 SDA time.
That is really, really, really good. Nice job. So Castlevania 3, you're taking the Sypha path for us this time.
Yep, using the Famicom.
Right, the versions are different. That matters.
It does. There's actually several differences throughout this that essentially make them their own categories. Sub-weapons in places that are not available in the US, so that's the main thing. So we're able to save quite a bit of time on this version over the US version just because of that. You know, I'll eventually go over that, hopefully, if I remember.
Yeah, why don't we jump in and start showing off what we're going to be talking about here. So you're ready, Fees? Are you resi?
Yes, sir.
Feed, are you resi? He's resi.
Wow.
We're all resi.
I'm not ready.
Go ahead and count us down, K-Mac.
Yeah, plug my controller in real quick.
Yep, I recommend that.
Had to switch consoles, of course, so.
Yeah, the sound is awesome too in this game. The music is way different because of an extra chip.
If possible, could you audio just a bit?
Game audio for, are you hearing double or?
No, just lower it. Apparently it's a little loud.
It should be good now. Hopefully.
Okay. Right, yeah, Fees can do that. Okay, yep. We're ready when you are.
Alright. I'm gonna let the music play out, but I'll give you the time here. Alright, in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so we're playing Akumaju Densetsu, Legend of Demon's Castle, or Devil's Castle, I believe is the translation, but Castlevania 3, Japanese version. Not a whole lot to talk about in the first stage. I'm going to grab a holy water and build it up to a triple shot for the sole reason of fighting the first stage boss. So unlike the first game where we use holy water non-stop pretty much, this game is the first level, the only appearance of it for this run. Oh. There's our holy water.
Another difference in this is the appearance of some of the enemies too versus the other version.
Yeah, there's a couple different sprite differences. The main ones are the zombies and the fleamen. The fleamen are completely like gremlin-looking sprite, I guess you would call it.
And the damage works different in this version as well, right?
Yes, the damage is not level-based, it's enemy-based, where in the US version it is completely level-based for the exception of Cyclops. For some reason, Cyclops does his own special damage. Whereas I does 3 damage and the rest of his body does 4. But that goes for both versions. So that's the only thing that carried over as far as damage goes.
And you can't jump over the bone pillars in this one, you have to damage boost through them.
Yep, they're just slightly too big, whereas in other versions of Castlevania you can jump them. CV1, CV4. Oh, my health is kind of low for this. Yeah, holy water does slightly less damage in this game, or this version over the US version. It's really odd. Like, you'll see coming up, there's a ghost that I'm going to throw a holy water at. In the US version, it'll kill the ghost. This version, 98% of the time, it doesn't die. I have been able to kill it, but very rare.
Nice campfire, by the way, Double.
That's why we speedrun, right? It's all about the win poses, the swag.
Oh, yes. If you notice there, this is one game he can choose a path.
Yeah, this game I think is one of the best games to speedrun on the NES, just because of its replay value. There's so many different speedruns of it. There's 5 different speedruns of it you can do on the US version. 1 for each character, and then there's a glitched run that was figured out not too long ago, probably about a year ago, to where you can skip, almost tap the game by doing a series of stair walks and glitching into the... Owls are not being nice today.
They're jerks.
Has a wing. It's a jerk. So it means I'm not going to be able to do the optimal speed strats through this next section. I'm going to have to sit here and wait and kill this bone pillar. And I got hit. So, thanks, bone pillar. And since this next bird might kill me, I'm going to grab this meat. I would hate to lose my sub-weapon. The rare meat that you don't usually get. Because you can do the rest of this level without taking damage as long as this bird cooperates. Which he usually does, but in marathons I don't trust him.
Because he's a jerk.
But he cooperated. That's because I went and got the meat. He did his purpose. He cost me time. Served his purpose. That means I don't have to take the safe strat right here. I'll jump down and hopefully whip him. I did.
Nice.
Now the rest of this section is pretty much just hoping we don't have a bad weapon drop on us. Well, that's pretty much the rest of the game, actually. But
That's any Castlevania 1 and 3 combined bad drops.
Another version difference, in this fight in the US version, you would normally take a hit to get the optimal kill, but Cyclops' AI seems just ever so slightly different as far as manipulating him. Like in the US version, if you're on the ground, he'll rush you. If you're on a platform, he'll still wander around, but he can come at you at any time. But if you're on a platform in this version, he'll just turn around and walk the other way, won't come near you. Essentially, the AI forces you to track him down. Very small difference, but it's worth pointing out. Now we get Sypha. A huge difference with Sypha over the two versions is the lightning spell. The lightning spell, when all 3 of her orbs hit an enemy in this game, it does a tremendous amount of damage. In the US version, they nerfed her to where it does no damage if all 3 hit at the same time. So that's why in the US version of this, you'll see Fire Spell used a lot more with Sypha, where this, once we get the Lightning Spell, it'll just be switching between that and the Ice Spell until the second to last level.
Yeah, there's some cool skips you can do with her later.
Oh yeah. There's one coming up here later in this level after we fight Medusa. But with the strat, to be able to skip, you have to fight Medusa without a sub weapon because you have the Ice Spell when once you reach her. And Ice Spell does not do anything to Medusa other than freeze her snakes that she shoots at you. For like probably half a second, I think. It's very brief.
Now I know in the US version, all your characters that help you, they take different damage. Does it do the same in the Japanese version as well?
Yes. The character damage is weighted by character. But so where Ralph. I didn't even get the wrong Belmont in the right game. Ralph, he does 2, 3, and 4 throughout the US version, whereas Sypha and Grant take 3, 4, and 5 depending on level, where in this game it's the same, the 2, 3, and 4, and the 3, 4, and 5, just based on enemy. But there is that damage difference between characters. Alright, we've got the Ice Spell coming up here. It's going to enable us to do a skip here, and then as soon as we freeze the enemy for the skip, we'll be switching back to the Lightning Spell. Yeah, Medusa is probably the second most reset heavy part of this run. The first being I forgot to freeze. See? Doing commentary and forgetting how to do stuff. Well, that's alright, we had gotten the meat. And we got her without getting hit, so we're still on track. This is where we would have for health normally.
That was a pretty good fight.
And that skip that we just did right there, that saves approximately 15 seconds. It's a huge skip, and that's a skip that you cannot do in the US version because you can't get the Ice Spell in this level where I had just gotten it. Where in the US version, that would have been, I believe, a Fire Spell for Sypha. Alright, some more jerky birds who are probably we're due for a weapon drop. We avoided it. Somehow. It's usually rare. It's usually the second bird that drops it, not the first. So we got pretty fortunate there.
I like this damage boost.
Now we're gonna one-hit KO the mummies. Hello, mummies. Goodbye, mummies.
I was just getting ready to say the same thing.
Now we've got Cyclops. He can't be one shot, but 2 shots can be done. And boom. Sypha's blue balls. Wrecking face. Alright, so we've got a little damage boost to do here at the beginning of the level. Not too difficult, just need to walk to a certain point. I've got a spot that I look at in the background to tell me when to jump, not looking at the fireball. But I still mess it up from time to time, even looking at that spot. We got it. Okay. There's also another skip coming up here that I'm going to try. A little damage boost, similar to what we do in CV1 with the bat, to damage boost across a long pit that we normally wouldn't be able to cross. There's two different setups for it based on what high axe or low axe. He gave me the low axe, so we got it. The low axe, what I did there, I had to shoot off the lightning spell while standing on the right stair. To manipulate the axe arm to throw a high axe, so I could damage boost off of it. If he starts off with a high axe, the second axe will be off, also a high axe. You just have to go over and get rid of the first one real quick.
Now for every speedrunner's favorite part, an auto-scroller.
Gotta love the auto-scrollers. Time to have fun, relax, but don't die in it, please.
If you don't know where the enemies are, they'll spawn right on top of you.
Pretty good stage so far. Everything has been right on point. Hopefully we don't get a bad drop, and we should be good. Or if I don't have a controller flub and walk right off a ledge. That's been known to happen once or twice.
Yeah, that does happen.
Who put that banana peel there? Ah, there's my lightning. I'm glad I got hit there. I would have picked that thing up. Worked out pretty good. Execution mistake saving me time. How about that?
Now another difference in versions as well. The U.S. version and this version in this room, the fireball patterns are different.
Yes, and slower. The fireballs from Bone Pillars are slower. Much slower in this version. Wow, I don't know how I didn't get killed there, but I'll take not getting killed.
Ooh.
That bird somehow rarely miss that bird. It does happen, but there's Frankie. As you've seen, the theme with Sypha is just destroy bosses real fast. And that's another of the big time saves between the US and Japanese version of this run. Just you can one-shot just about everything. Or two-shot it.
Yep. As I remember Puexel quoting during your run of this at SGDQ last year, lightning acquired, game broken.
Pretty much. Now this part's a pain in the butt, because there's different patterns that you can get. So I'm just going to try and take it safe, because I don't want to pick that up, but I did. My spacing was off. Oh my goodness, I got hit again. That is... Wow. This is going poorly. Good thing I have Ice Spell. Yeah, that bridge is another reset heavy part of this run. Usually don't take that much damage though. Now I gotta really be careful here. Oh, I pressed up and B. I shouldn't have done that at all. Alright. That was unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Other than we lost our... Wow! Okay. Alright, we're not doing that again. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, this stage is not a friendly stage.
The stairs killed me that time. Well, the first time. I went to go use the ice spell, and rather than using the spell, the game decided I should go up the stairs instead.
If you grab the stopwatch here because of this bird, it's not
Don't have
trustable.
enough heart for it. That was muscle memory taking over.
Thankfully, you're able to get lightning back, right? Yep.
Yep. So I wasn't a big concern on the death, but I won't be able to do the optimal track fight.
No.
Surprising that those 2 deaths were only a minute long.
Yeah, it was near the beginning of the section, thankfully.
Alright, now that we got those hiccups out of the way, finish strong. And we miss it. I've been missing that quite a bit in my practice. That ice skip.
Too much Zelda.
I blame Zelda. Zelda's always a good scapegoat.
I concur. Skip coming up here.
Not executed as good as it could have been, but I'll take it.
Yep, still executed, thankfully. And coming up is what I like to call the hardest jump in the game.
Yep, it is the hardest mandatory jump there is, because there's not a large window to jump from. Pretty much gotta almost walk off the edge and then jump.
Grant hits it pretty easily, thankfully, but Sypha and Ralph, they struggle with it. Auto-scrolling up was fun, now we get auto-scroll down.
Yeah. Get hyped for auto-scroller. Luckily it's a pretty short auto-scroller.
Yep. And it moves faster than the other one.
Alright, so we have full health, we have the health we need to wreck bosses again.
And if you thought 2 was a lot that one time, let's add a third one in there.
Oh, that was bad. Bad as far as the lightning spell took a while to get off the screen, but alright. And that was a perfect boss fight. Well, almost perfect. The 3 cycle Cyclops. You want a 2 cycle Cyclops, but well. Alright, now we're actually entering the castle. With that throwback tune to half an hour ago.
Sort of funny how in all the Castlevanias, if you don't have a sub weapon, death is a pain in the butt.
Yes, he is very difficult in this version. Well, his first form. I don't think quite as difficult, though, as the CV1 version of him.
Oh, definitely not. So, spoiler alert, he fights death later.
Alright, now we've got this last hallway to fight the secret end boss of this level. Thanks, Cantaloupe, for ruining it.
I'm sorry. Snape kills Dumbledore. Oh wait, I better stop spoilers. Good first cycle.
And a good, well, I want to get damage boost the other way on the second cycle on the last hit, but still good fight.
Oh yeah, he's dead and you're not. That's a good fight.
Always good. Always good. Alright, we have some more birds coming up. Who like to drop things on my head.
To do the stair glitch with Grant doesn't work in this version or with Sypha.
You can do the stair glitch with Sypha, you just need the ice spell to offset her on the stairs. Unfortunately, you won't have ice. And you need an enemy as well. Unfortunately, there's no enemies near that staircase.
I see.
Silly stage 6 shenanigans ruining a nice, decent run. Blame Zelda.
Yes, we will blame Zelda for anything else that hopefully does not happen.
Oh, I got the jerk pattern.
Of course, Zelda.
Really, game? They're just being jerks. Jerk game. Jerk game. It's very rare that that first bone pillar fires a fireball before you can be out of range of it, and it did. Of course, it's a marathon run.
Oh yes. Any other time that would never happen. Because that's never happened before.
It literally happens probably 5% of the time. I mean, that's how uncommon it is.
And Auto-scroller fans, where did Auto-scroller again?
Frankenstein was pounding down the last auto-scroller like this. Who's pounding this one down? That's what I'm curious about.
Grim Reaper again.
Oh, did that wrong. Low on hearts. I'm gonna get this meat and hopefully don't die getting it. I have died getting this meat. And pressing jump before I had regained control and just walking off the ledge. Alright, our bird skip coming up here.
First try. We're gonna get this.
We did. Where are these bird skips when I'm actually running the game? I've been getting good bird skips like all week in practice. Gotta get this heart just to be safe. There is not a heart there. That's not good.
Ooh.
That makes this fight interesting. Oh. What am I doing? No, it's just a one block. Alright, this has got interesting now.
Yeah. Switch back and forth through the old strat.
Might have to. I'm gonna have to cheese the boss. There's no heart there. Having to cheese the boss. It's gonna take forever. Cheesing the boss. Marathon strategy.
Cheese the boss percent heard. That's
In
a
the
strat
US
that
version, that would have been a heart. There's usually a multiplier there, but when you're someone who can't get a multiplier or on triple shot, it's usually a big heart. Not in this version, apparently. I just learned something at a very inopportune time.
the more you know. And now we're in the final stage. And another auto-scroller. It's hanging near the top to despawn these Medusa heads to reduce the very unnoticeable lag that's occurring right now. Oh no, he's gonna get crushed. I'm just kidding.
That cheese the boss strat costs almost 40 seconds. Nah, probably not that much. There was mistakes earlier in the run, or earlier in that level.
It's better
So I
than the death, though.
Almost. Barely.
Now in the US version, you have bats flying at you in this section, but they were kind enough to leave them out of this section in the Japanese version.
And also, if you die to Drac, you start like you do in CV1, right at the staircase. Where in the US version, you start way back at the last door. Not this door, but the previous one, of course. Hopefully I don't get to demonstrate that.
And we don't need to see that strat. We'll take your word on it. It gives you a lightning spell right before Drac. How convenient.
Alright, time coming up here really fast. And... wow, it went slow time.
Good finish there. That Drac 3 on the Japanese version is a lot easier than the one on the first version. His fire hitbox is way shorter.
Yes. the we call that the Babby laser.
Mm.
The U.S. version, you get the huge lasers, oversized. But that was as good as Form 2 Dracula backup strats go. We one shot 1 and 2, which was perfect, and then 2 cycled 1 and 2, which is the best you can do with not being able to do the optimal. The optimal strat would be to take damage boost up to his head, the third forms when he spawns, get a lightning spell off, switch to Trevor to finish him off in 1 cycle. But you need the cross for that strat, which you lose sub weapons in it when you die. But oh well.
And Sypha's a girl, by the way, if you guys haven't figured that out.
Yeah, it's a little ambiguous with the in-game text, but like officially, girl.
All right. I think
That was Castlevania. Thank